Tonight, I'm going to be having some very interesting conversation. But the one that involves lives of people, I think we should begin with it. Today, the governor of Borno said Babangana Zulum has condemned terrorist attack in the Ndume community near Baga in the Kukawa local government area of Borno. Said the governor condemned the attack, which claimed at least 40 farmers and fishermen on Sunday, and called on the officers and men of Operation Heading Kai to track and obliterate the insurgent elements that are operating at Ndume and other similar enclaves in the Lake Chad area. Also, recent terrorist attacks have been reported where two persons said they have been killed and about 30 houses burned in the Chibok attack, and a church also involved there. The senator representing Borno South in the National Assembly, Senator Ali Ndume, is live for us in that area. Senator Ali Ndume, thank you so much indeed. What a sad moment. One would have thought that some of these terrorist attack stories had gone with the years past, but we're seeing some kind of resurgence of these terrorists. What exactly is going on, Senator?
Well, it's, as you rightly said, is the re-insurgence of the insurgency in the whole country, particularly the northwest, where you have the Chukura, and the northeast. Now we have about getting to 6 attacks. It started with Kareto, long time, I think it's end of last year. And then another attack occurred in Sabongari area in Damboa, where I visited last time, including Kauji and Wajirko. Now it happened again in Goza. There was an ambush on Thursday. We lost 6 people. That's why I went to Goza. I'm just coming back. And then hearing what has happened in Tumbutu, where we lost about 40 people. And yesterday, we lost 2 people in Chibok too, in Bazar, and they burned down the EYN church there and burned down almost all the thatched houses. Even the zinc houses was not spared. So there's a kind of reoccurrence of the insurgency, and is increasing. And that's a really source of concern.
A big worry, isn't it? Because for almost 2 years or more, there seems to be a lull, and gradually, I had a conversation with the governor of Borno State the other day. So the conversation has been the rehabilitation and how the communities are going to be re-energized so that people can go back to their communities, the farming communities can go back to farm, and people can regain their lives and go back to their homelands. But now it's getting to a situation where we are now getting worried that some of these elements are coming back. What they were doing before now was that they will attack and run away, attack and run away. But now with this sort of incidents in Ndume, in Chibok, I mean, what would you say could be the cause?
Well, I think it is the aftermath of what has happened in Chad, Niger, and our neighboring countries. Cameroon is totally blocked from them, and the insurgents are now moving downward, that is into Nigeria. You can see what is happening in Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, and the Northwest generally. And then, of course, those that were driven away from the Chad fringes of that is bordering Niger, Chad, have all been driven away, and they are running around trying to scramble for arms, ammunition, and equipment. In fact, in Goza, they came and also carted away some of the goods, not ammunitions, but supplies that is meant for the Nigerian army in a village called Yamtake, where they are. We have a battalion of soldiers there, so the brigade were trying to give them supplies. And the biggest problem we have recently is the issue of saboteurs, where we have infiltrators giving them information. So they ambush the contingent that were going to Jaji with farmers and bicycles, So they cutted away the Jega, what we call this tricycle that has open body. And that was why I went right away, acquired replacement for them. So we went home, gathered all the people that were affected and replenished, and that is to give them back what they lost. And this I am doing intentionally in order to give them confidence and develop resilience, because that's the biggest way, or the best solution to this is to be resilient and stand up for these people. Chibok case have been unfortunate, but before they could arrive there, that is the hunters, the soldiers, these people have done wrecked, made their destruction, as you can see, and ran away. In fact, those that were two brothers we lost two of them, the same father, same mother, both senior brother and junior. It's because they are standing up. The Chibok people are known for standing up against Boko Haram. Unfortunately, we lost two people, and before the army could arrive there, they have done this damage by putting on fire, and the fire went quickly because of the season now, where it's windy. But the people are still resilient. They are still there. They want to remain there. All they need now, and all we are calling about from the federal government, for example, once this happens and the people stay back, then NEMA should also come in immediately, rebuild what they can build, or give the people that they are like now, when they need blocks, cement, and the church should be brought up immediately. As you can see, the church is something that you can build overnight, and that was what the vice president and the president, when he was a governor, started, and the president governor continues. But the resources of the state is so lean, and that's why we are saying now, when this happens, the federal government should step in and replace those things that, like what I did in Goza. They took away 4 Jega and a counter vehicle. Went and then I replaced them immediately. They took away 40 bicycles. Went ahead and replaced by giving them the victims a token of 50,000 to go and get a bicycle so that they can continue with their life and remain resilient. In Goza's case, those that were ambushed were basically civilian JTF. About 4 of them were civilian JTF. The Nigerian army was so strategic because they got scanty information, and that's why we didn't lose the army, and they immediately were able to chase them away, and they remain on top of the situation. But the public too has to support the army. The federal government has to support Borno State, because what Governor Zulum has at hand is too much for him. For example, within a span of 2 weeks, Damboa is affected. Nganzai too, we had an incident whereby they attacked a police station and we lost 2 police officers. And this one is coming day before yesterday. Tumbu is also affected. So the federal government should really support, need to do what I have been saying, that our soldiers are so gallant, but they like, the sufficient training, ammunition, equipment, and motivation. These are very important for them to get over this case. I just came back this night. I know what is going on. If you see the situation under which our soldiers are operating, you pity them. For example, the feeding money for a soldier is 1,500. 1,500, not per meal, but per day. The salary of a private soldier is still 50,000, even though I learned that it has been increased to 100,000. You can imagine that. Yet these people are willing to lay down their lives to do what is actually not their work. Because the Nigerian army are supposed to face this thing. But people sit down in their comfort, and we need more boots on the ground. We need to give them adequate ammunition. We need to give them adequate arms. We need to give them adequate motivation, but they can do it. The brigade general, the brigade commander, the task force commander was always on site. In fact, I had a meeting with him today around 2 o'clock.
So, what are your people telling you? Who are these attackers? Are they the same Boko Haram element? Are they ISWAP? What are these elements like? Are they speaking Fufude? Are they speaking Kanuri? Or what exactly do they look like? What are the natives, the locals? What are they telling you when you went around?
What is happening is, as I told you, this is the result of influx of the people, the ISWAP and Boko Haram that were operating in the Chad, the Chad Basin fringes. Remember, there are some in Sambisa remnants. There were remnants in the Mandara Mountain. So when they want to launch attack, they were not able to launch attack from those two zones. That is Mandara Mountain and Sambisa, because they were weak. They have been very, very weak. But now they are having support from the outsiders. But what they need is equipment, food, and supplies. So now with the support of those that are speaking Fulfulde or Kanuri, that is a kind of reinforcement that they have that enables them to attack our villages. And then the best solution to that is that we should have more soldiers, boots on ground, more information, more intelligence, and most importantly, when I went there, it was after I spoke to the chief of army staff before I went to Goza yesterday, after meeting him in Abuja, that the air support were deployed to Maiduguri. There is a need for more air support in those areas that are affected. It doesn't matter whether they are from Niger or whether they are even heaven, if they are insurgents and we are ready and our Nigerian forces are ready and you give them what it takes, they are ready to face them. So the time came, even there is information coming to the brigade commander in Goza. He got information that they may likely attack Goza, but he says he's waiting for them and he's ready for them. That is because he has intelligence and he has what it takes to protect Goza. And I was telling him, are you sure? He said, no, these boys will take them out. You can imagine that.
But Senator, so the reason why I asked that question of the language they speak is so that also the military can be well informed as to the identity of these people. Are they foreigners? Are they strangers who come into our land, kill our people, terrorize our people, and run away? Or they are the locals that are being, they are being disillusioned and are being, given these terrible ideologies to attack their own people in the manner in which they. I wanted you to identify whether the locals are saying these are people that we know, because I mean, as a reporter that had covered Maiduguri, covered Yola, covered Adamawa before, I do know locals have told me that these are some of our children who, for some reasons, they go away for several weeks, they come back and they come and attack their own people. What exactly are the locals saying to you? Do they identify some of them? Maybe they look like the Boko Haram they've wiped out before or not.
As I told you earlier, nobody can come out, whether they are Kanuri or Fulani, to come to Goza, for example, if they don't know anything about Goza, if they don't have anybody that will recce and give them information. I've confessed that they get information from the criminals among us, and they connive with the Boko Haram that are still hanging or hibernating in the Mandara Mountain, that were weak now. But they are attacking more now is because it's like they have reinforcement from those that were driven from the Chad region, and normally they will be speaking Kanuri or Shua or Arab. That is it. But what I'm saying is a criminal is a criminal. It doesn't matter whether he is white, black, Kanuri, Igbo, or whatever. Once enemy is an enemy, you take him out. But unfortunately now I can confess to you that within us, there are saboteurs that share information or provide them information, especially with those that have old link. But our people now are saying the enemies are within and they are going to do something, and they are going to search them and they are going to take action. That is the promise I got from them. And I encourage them. And they are resilient. They say they are not going to allow the situation in 2014 repeats itself again, where some youngsters like them will come, overrun a town and declare it a caliphate. They said they will not. They promised me. I was very happy, and I felt happy that I went to support them, encourage them.
So, I mean, we can say, Senator, that for some reasons, some of the corridors around the fringes of our borders are still very porous and are still very dangerous because of the operation of these elements, isn't it?
Yes. Our border, I must confess, is so large. Dambua alone is one of the largest, like Dambua. In the 774 local government we have, Dambua is one of the largest landmass. You go to Kukawa, you go to a part of northern Yobe, it's very large. So manning our borders, let me tell you for now, is not just work. But with technology, and that is why I say arm the Nigerian army. Now there are drones. Drones can be sent on surveillance, and then it can be there for 6 hours or more. And then you bring back that one and send another one, and have a kind of situation room. The Nigerian army, in combination with the Air Force, if they have enough aircraft on ground, in fact, if we have enough aircrafts at the theater. Right now, we don't have enough aircrafts at the theater, Northeast. And that is because the Nigerian army is dealing with another problem in Northwest, and they have to send some of their platforms there. We understand. But if we can have more attack helicopters to the Nigerian army and the Air Force, this problem will reduce, because you can go around easily. Is a desert. If you do patrol, you will see suspicious movement. If you have drones, you will see suspicious movement. And we have thermal cameras that can run 40, 50 kilometers. If you put them, place them properly, and these are sometimes off-the-shelf items that you can bring and give the army. If you give the Nigerian army, Air Force, police, and Navy, even in the lecture, what it takes, they can take care of these people.
So, Senator, can you confirm to us there are still parts of Borno State that some of these elements are still taking control of?
Not control, but they are moving freely, in the sense that the Nigerian army are there. Not much civilian. In the northern Nigeria and northern Borno, I know that. But in Borno South, there is no place in Borno South, that is my senatorial district, that I know that is under control of Boko Haram. But I know that in this Borno South, on the Mandara Mountain, we have Boko Haram still hibernating there, coming down one time or the other to come and steal, or to follow a route to escape, or get supplies in connivance with the locals, some of the locals. And that's what we are trying to address. But in my local government, for example, from Kirawa, that is bordering Cameroon, but the Cameroonian border is sealed to them. And those that are in the mountain are like kind of trapped. They don't want to come down. And they only come down to steal, mostly. Now they don't even attack. The one that happened was an ambush in Goza. They ambushed people that were going to Jaje in order to get firewood and supplies in there. And the Nigerian army were giving the people escort to go and get whatever they want. Unfortunately, as I said, they got an insider information. They planted AIDs, and that was what happened. So when the vehicle that was carrying the Nigerian army supplies got there, they detonated the bomb. And of course, the Nigerian army took their cover, and they had their truck trying to chase them away. So there was a kind of game there where we, as I said, lost 5 people to AID, and the other person was caught in a crossfire. What was the army were up to them. In fact, it was the Jaji soldiers that came to the spot. Then the Goza contingents followed up and gave them. The army are doing a wonderful job, but they don't have what it takes. They don't have enough equipment.
Quickly, let me because I need to ask you a few questions about some national issues, especially because I know you belong to the Appropriations Committee and the budget defense is ongoing. Let me ask you quickly, what is your biggest fear about what these terrorists and the manner which things are going, if care is not taken, if we don't move fast, what do you fear the most, and what do you think should be done urgently to turn around what has become a major New Year attacks by these terrorists?
Well, let me say that the budget, as I've seen it, is a very ambitious one, and the president even named it like that, some of our colleagues, but it's practicable. All I'm saying is that we should place our priorities very well. Now the government has prioritized security. Let us make sure it's implemented. In fact, my own view is that the budget for the security armed forces, Nigerian Army, police, Navy, should be on the first line charge. That is what America is doing. They call it non-discretionary spending. You don't have to be running to Minister of Finance for your money. The money for the Nigerian Army should be a first line charge. Once the time is there, if they are releasing funds quarterly, give them their money. Divide the total amount for the Army, divide it by 12, and every month they don't have to ask. Give them the money, let them go and do the job. The budget is ambitious, but the implementation is the problem. Even this budget now, the president had to extend it by 6 months. You know why? The implementation level is very, very poor. Meanwhile, all of the recurrent expenditure has been spent. Unless we change this attitude of spending discretionary income, or emphasizing more on spending discretionary income than non-discretionary expenditure, as the American system call it. Now their priority is security and welfare, healthcare. You don't touch that money. But in Nigeria, reverse is the case. People get money and for things that are not important. What is not important? What is in the budget there? The most important one is capital. And if the Nigerian Army or whoever or other agencies don't get their money for capital, then that is a problem. That is a problem with the last year's budget. Up to now, the money for recurrent and non-recurrent expenditure have been spent, and yet you have to spill over the capital side of it. That means, God knows, you will be running a budget. They will start spending that of 2025 now. But the capital releases will be delayed as usual, and the president really needs to do something about this. Otherwise, we keep on budgeting. But the Nigerian Army, for example, will not get the money. Even the Nigerian Army budget is 25% implemented, not 100%. How do you expect them to perform?
But I mean, in all of what has been projected by the president. And I know that you're a very strong critic of this president, whom you are. I mean, interestingly, I saw you all smiles when you met him at the on Friday at the mosque.
Don't start this. I'm not a strong critic of Mr. President. Don't give me that name, please.
But you criticize policies that you don't like of this government.
No, I'm not criticizing the president. I'm criticizing policies. You are supposed to know that English better than myself.
So you're a critic of the government, but not a strong one. That is what you're saying.
No. I'm not critic of the government. It's our government. I can see Oga Bode just there. You are trying to give him an opportunity to hit us. He's from the PDP. With all due respect, sir.
Senator, my question right here is that I see you were all smiles with the president. Perhaps there was something that the president told you. Maybe since you said you have not seen him in a long time, did he tell you, Ali, the notorious Ali, was that what he was telling you? I was trying to read the lips in that picture. But
No. President is my man. President is one of my mentors. He only said that you are not coming to the villa. Why? I say, Oga, you didn't ask me to come. He said, you can come tonight. I said, no. And then he said that he's attending our daughter's wedding because I gave out my daughter that day on a wedding, even though it coincided with the Nigerian Army Remembrance Day. So after the ceremony, I was expecting him to leave. Then we'll do the wedding, where I'm the one that is going to give out the daughter. He says he's not going anywhere. He's going to attend the wedding. And that was what actually happened. And see, Seun, all my critics, I don't criticize my elders. Oga Bode just there is a retired general. I am a son of a soldier too. We know, like in the barrack, we respect our elders, we respect our seniors. Tinubu is my senior, I respect him, but I disagree with him in some cases in order, hoping for us to agree for the better of Nigeria. But he is surrounded. I don't want to use another word that will cause me suspension, but he is surrounded by. You
should not be afraid of suspension. You've been suspended time and time again.
I'm not afraid of suspension, but all I'm saying is, even you now, you are saying that I'm criticizing Tinubu. I've never criticized Tinubu. I will never criticize Tinubu, but I will criticize the policies. I criticize policies of Buhari. I'm closer to Tinubu than Buhari.
What do you fear the most, Senator, about this budget? Perhaps one thing that the president needs to look at, because a lot of Nigerians have high hopes for the new year, for your party and President Tinubu to meet the expectations of Nigeria. What must be tackled, and the low-hanging fruit, what would that be for you?
Well, I have always said it to Mr. President, implement the budget. You don't have budget. What budget means is the capital aspect of it. Implement the budget and Nigerians will be happy. And concentrate on two things. And that is the purpose of government: security and welfare of citizens. Then any other things come after that. But at the moment the president continues to listen to these guys around that are feeding him with World Bank and a prescription and all that, it will end up killing Nigerians.
That's Senator Ali Ndume in his element, as always, fearless. He says his mind. But he's not with me here in the Abuja studio, where he always makes trouble here in our studio with me. But he's so far away there virtually. So he can't do anything to me, no matter what I say to him. But thank you so much, Senator Ali Ndume.
So that's why you are trying to insult me by saying I'm criticizing my president.
But are you not a strong critic? You're the notorious Ali Ndume.
No, I cannot. Let me tell you one thing. I cannot even criticize Oga Bode George there, that I don't know how. You know, the person that is PDP, this thing, they started PDP, and it seems he wants to die in PDP, because whatever you do to him, he's just PDP. It doesn't matter who you are. Oga, they salute you, and please leave PDP and come to APC, and then go to and body love and fix him up for us if there is anything that needs to be fixed.
All right, Senator Ali Ndume. Always causing trouble. Thank you so much, Senator Ali Ndume. Thank you so much indeed. I appreciate it.
My pleasure to you. Yeah.